Laser!
All right, it's me and Tara. We're going to be doing this all week long, kind of talk about what we expect to see, what we hope to see, and what we're going to be looking out for from the major players. And today is everyone's favorite company in the entire world, Microsoft.
Yes, Microsoft. Gosh, I really hope they show off a lot of games at E3 this year.
I mean, I still look at what they did up in Redmond. I don't think it was a good idea, but they really saw it as part one of a two-part E3 press conference, and they did the entertainment stuff, and that they have said we're going to see games. I mean, how many games do you want to see?
Well, you know, they said the 15 exclusives that they listed were for the first year of the launch.
I believe it's the first two holidays, so year and a half.
Okay, yeah, which from this point is an extra half a year onto that. So I don't expect to see all of them at E3 this year. I would like to see, you know, at least 8 or 9 exclusives. We already know what 3 of them are. We know there's going to be Forza 5. We know there's going to be Rise, that Roman fighting game.
Which I believe was originally supposed to be a Kinect-only title.
Yeah.
And then just kind of dissipated.
Yeah, now they're sort of moving that into the Kinect controller hybrid area. And then there's also Quantum Break, the new game from Remedy, which I'm excited about seeing more of. The rest of them, you know, it's kind of up in the air right now. I am looking forward to seeing some strong new IPs. I would love to see some kind of indie support, but I don't expect to see much of that.
They might have to say what they're going to do with it. I mean, yet again, they're making these misleading or contradictory statements about where they are with indie. I think that's what so many people are going to be tuning into, and I believe Microsoft has been paying attention to what's happening out there. They're going to have to say something about the used games.
Yeah.
If they kick that can down the road, I think
that
they're all the other stuff they're trying to say isn't going to reach those ears. And then there's, of course, the always online aspect. I've been hearing things from sources that seem to give it some clarity that we're talking about sort of a handshake to assume that, you know, to find out that there is some internet connection that happens maybe every 24 hours. It could be as much as 72 hours.
Yeah.
They need to somehow deal with that. But that's what I call the bad news. And even if it isn't that bad, they have to get it out there. I thought they might say something this week. I had heard they might say something so they can only talk about the stuff they want to kind of raise the pom-poms for over at the press conference.
I mean, I feel like everybody's, like, you've been hearing bits and pieces from everywhere, from Major Nelson, from Don Matrick. I want somebody to just come out at E3 and come onto a stage and just say definitively on camera like, the official statement about what that is. So there's nobody else that we have to question or ask. You know?
Right, or try to find out, is there a deeper meaning? I mean, I appreciate the fact that a lot of this has to do with the online service, which is something that doesn't have to go through production, and they can work on all the way up until the launch of the console. But they can't, if people are about to make, you know, it could be a $200+ purchase, they want to know what they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. I know they're going to be showing off the Kinect also. I'm curious to see how many titles are actually going to incorporate that, because it seems like they're putting a little bit of it into everything. Even if a game doesn't require motion control, you'll still be able to use the voice navigation, etc.
Yeah, my sense is we're not going to see it kind of ladled on as heavily as we did with the first Kinect, because they really are trying to integrate this more into other aspects of the Xbox. Skype, just telling it to turn itself on, that it's a little bit more, it's less novel. It now is part of the identity of the Xbox, but it'll be interesting to see that balance, because Kinect games are considered to be casual games, and how many of these exclusives are reaching that broader audience.
And I don't want to see them forcing that into a lot of games that don't really deserve it otherwise.
No, and there's, it'll be interesting to see how they can sort of straddle that they're not still just in amazement of their little motion control device. There's words I'm curious how many times they talk about games, how many times they say the word gamers, and how much they are going to try to just really underscore that they believe their console is for a hardcore gaming audience, because that might be in reaction to what happened, or the reaction to what happened up in Redmond that week. If they understand that they have to start to focus that. But then again, if they do that too much, all the mainstream media that can really be their way to reach that broad audience as an entertainment device can start to confuse them as well. They have a very tricky tightrope to walk right here.
They do, and I feel like they've captured a lot of that wider audience with their press conference, but at a show like E3, you can't just come and show off TV features, because nobody's going to care. We've already seen it during the press conference. You know, like, who cares? We're there to see games. And I really hope that they realize that, and that they become a little bit more self-aware when it comes to things like that.
I think my final thing is, if there's one thing, be it a feature or a game, that you want to see from Microsoft, what is it?
Mirror's Edge 2.
Mirror's Edge 2.
Yeah, and there have been rumors about that. You know, there have been a couple leaks over the past couple days. I feel like they could do something interesting with the Kinect there that might make people a little bit more interested in it.
Yeah, and I might think a little differently of Larry Probst if that one somehow made through his culling of what's inside of their catalog. I think what I want to see is, I don't want to say it's necessarily Fable, and I know this is going to freak people out, but like that stuff that used to come out of Lionhead, even when Molyneux was there, that's where some of the innovations were. We almost had it with Milo and Kate. Wouldn't say it was a good game or was going to be a good game, but it was going to be something that showed that they were willing to make a financial risk on something that was experimental. That's what Sony does very well. If we can see something like that from Microsoft, I think that we are looking at a more mature and understanding company as to what the game audience is.
Yeah, here's hoping.
So that's our sense. Things to look out for the Xbox One and Microsoft's. Man, there's going to be a lot of eyes on this press conference. Make sure that you tune in. We'll be there. We'll be giving our reactions for the entire week. Thank you.
Lots of crying.